Hi and welcome to another reaction video here at HOFA Studios. And I'm excited for today because what's the topic?
We're listening to the new Linkin Park song, Heavy is the Crown. As you might know, Linkin Park had just made their return like a few weeks ago, have announced a new album, are in the middle of a spontaneous world tour, and have dropped their second single of the new album, which is called Heavy is the Crown.
I'm very curious, so let's see how the story continues.
Let's go.
Fire.
This drum beat sounds kind of familiar.
Yeah.
Or the style in general.
It's pouring in, you're laid on the floor again. One knock at the door and then we both know how the story ends. You can't win if your white flag's out when the war begins. Aiming so high but springing so low, trying to catch fire but feeling so cold. Hold it inside and hope it won't show. I'm saying it's not, but inside I know. Today's gonna be the day you notice.
Didn't expect that.
Me neither.
This is what you asked for. Heavy is the crowd. Fire in the sunrise. Ashes raining down. Try to hold it in, but it keeps bleeding out. This is what you asked for. Heavy is the crowd.
You want to learn more about how to produce, record and mix your song successfully? Then the HOFA-College online courses might be just right for you. Check us out at hofa-college.com.
Oh boy, so many impressions. So
yeah,
what's the first thing that came to your mind?
Well, like the intro sounds like very typical old school Linkin Park with like the bit crushed sounds,
8-bit sounds,
and like the beat, and then like the drum beat in general reminds me a lot of Faint.
Absolutely faint.
Like the good old Meteora single. I've heard that already on the internet. Like we haven't heard the song before, but obviously like you can't like get away from reading like comments on the song or reading like video titles of other reactions and stuff. So you get spoiled. Yeah, it's actually more similar than I expected. What I did not expect was like the abrupt like dynamic drop within the rap verse. Like it sounds very much like old school Mike Shinoda rap verses. Like a lot of from the Hybrid Theory era, Meteora era. Also like some like the flow kind of reminded me of some of the older demo stuff. So like it's more like really old school.
I'm not as much into Linkin Park, but as I'm a bit older, I used to be a metalhead back then, and for me, they really marked a new era because they managed to make metal mainstream.
Yeah,
like huge pop stuff, radio stations, daily rotations, and I was, of course, now seven years since Chester is gone now, and for me, it's refreshing. It's a new band, but I think the band has deserved a chance to like get a new start from it. Like, let's name it AC/DC, Iron Maiden, Nightwish. They all changed their singers out of different reasons, and I think they need to go on. But this one, like, do I have the impression? Am I wrong? Is this even closer to their original style than the first single? Do you think?
Some kind of, yeah, like this this pre-chorus, like the choirless, like chill pre-chorus, not so much, but like especially the rap verse, like the guitars, like in the beginning, the synth melody reminds a lot of like sounds like Numb or something, like similar sound, and yeah, it's definitely like judging from the first minute, it's like definitely more of a like old school Linkin Park type of song structure.
Yeah,
as with Emptiness Machine, where like the start was more like new school Linkin Park, and then it kind of shifted into this old school vibe with the guitars and stuff. But this starts off like vintage Linkin Park.
Yeah, I mean, it's for me, it's kind of a new band, or that was my first impression of the first single. But now it's beautiful, like crossover out of the old style and new aspects of that. And I love her voice. The roughness of her voice, and definitely the overall sound of the production is a bit more, I think, a bit more balanced, modern, less aggressive than like the really old. Of course, the old productions should sound a bit different, but I'm
20 years apart.
Enjoying that. So let's
see what the second verse brings.
Turn to run now, look what it's become. up number 10 to 1. Back then should've bit your tongue, cause there's no turning back. This path once it's begun, you're already on that list. Say you don't want what you can't resist. Waving that sword when the pen won't miss. Watch it all falling apart like this.
This is what you asked for. Heavy is the crowd. Fire in the sunrise. Ashes raining down. Try to hold it in, but it keeps bleeding out. This is what you asked for. Heavy is the crowd.
Also, I feel like the first interval of the like first two lead guitar chords might be the same as in Faint. It sounded like that. I can't tell what the tuning is. I don't know if it's like drop D or drop C sharp.
One bad impression I had. I mean, the last contact when I lost the contact to Linkin Park at all was like the Transformers movies.
Yeah,
I thought the last track sounded like someone said, "Hey, can you do a song like the last one, like exactly like that, but a little bit different?"
Yeah.
So, and that was like, it got thinner and thinner, and like you got the wine and water and add water and water. Like, at least I lost it at that point.
Yeah.
But this really is energetic and it sounds fresh to me.
Yeah,
I like
well,
it.
it's like a funny coincidence that it's also like a kind of soundtrack for some media stuff, because it's like for the current League of Legends World Cup. But that's just a side fact, nothing to do with the song itself. But like that's the whole like undertone of the release. So pretty funny, that collaboration.
Really?
But yeah, like second verse, no pre-chorus this time. I feel like the rap verse is like shorter in comparison to what it would have been like 20 years back.
Definitely.
Like half of that.
Absolutely.
But that's like current times, to keep it short, keep it simple, keep it like so people can listen to it on repeat more often, I think. I don't know.
True.
But that's the same thing that I mentioned last time when we listened to The Emptiness Machine with the final chorus. That was also shorter than I would have felt it coming.
Yeah.
Like judging from what I know about the band and like the other songs that I have in mind. So yeah, but now
Arrangements have changed over time, and
that's it.
Fair enough.
But now it's time for like either bridge or breakdown. We will see.
Let's see.
Or quiet part.
Today's gonna be the day you notice, 'cause I'm tired of
Build up.
This is what you asked for.
Not stopping yet.
This is what you asked for. Heavy is the crowd. Fire in the sunrise. Ashes raining down. Try to hold it.
Malevolent creation. Just count.
This is what you asked
Metalheads will know.
for. Heavy is the crowd.
Yeah,
this
nice
is
add-on.
The melody, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Here we go.
Heavy is the crowd. Heavy is the crowd.
Oh,
Come
like, very saturated synth sound. I love that.
Juicy.
I really
yeah,
like
absolutely.
this like saturated, distorted synth sound that
Yeah.
that gave it to me. That's like the vibe. But also like, of course, we gotta talk about the scream.
Yeah, that's yeah, there used to be a death metal band with a singer. His signature was these kind of streams.
Yeah.
Like as long as you can probably get
Yeah, well,
creation.
also
But
in Linkin Park's
excellent.
history, Given Up from the Minutes to Midnight
Yeah,
record.
I mean, absolutely long shots, but this really is. You think it's exactly that?
I think it's.
I didn't realize it.
I don't
that
know
much.
if I don't know if it's supposed to be a reference or just like bringing it up. Like it's like, but it's something that Linkin Park fans already know from like the.
Okay. Sorry. Then
back
I'm
then.
not into. Sorry, forgive me. But this really, I like it, and it felt like a minute,
Yeah.
not like.
I haven't counted to be honest, but like the Given Up scream, like from back then is 17 seconds. So I don't know what this is, but it's kind of in the same area, I think.
Well, for my part, I'm really content with this. I really think it's a fresh track. I like it very much.
Yeah.
I'm impressed, and I'm very much curious for the next things, and I hope they get to have something like remixes again, like huge remixes.
That would be very like appropriate, judging from the sound, because like of course like the Reanimation album back from the early 2000s, which like chopped up and redid some of the Hybrid Theory, all of the Hybrid Theory songs would fit here because like the sound is similar to like the old era. So yeah, I'm curious, but I really like the combination of like the more aggressive rap. Like the flow is more in your face. It's more like the old stuff. Like I don't know, songs like Dedicated, or also the demo tracks of like Faint or Figure 9. It's like this vibe, this old school, like more not evil Mike, but not this like friendly kind of rap that he has done on like the last few records. So that is something refreshing that I think just like fits perfectly to the song. The chorus hasn't gotten me hooked like that much yet. Like Emptiness Machine is still a bit more catchy, but like this song has other strengths definitely, which like the other one doesn't have. So yeah, it's amazing. I like it.
Well, speaking of the rap parts, since you're much more into Linkin Park than I am, would you like to share some thoughts in comparison?
Yes, of course. Let's take a look at the DAW. Okay, now we're in Cubase and I have some parts from different songs from Linkin Park for you prepared in order to show you how the rap sound has changed over the years. First off, we start with the song Forgotten from their 2000s album Hybrid Theory.
It's a place so dark you can't see the end. Skies cocked back, shock at which can't defend. The rain then sends dripping, acidic questions, forcefully the power of suggestion. Then with the eyes shut, looking through the rust and rotten dust, a small spot of light floods the floor.
Okay, what we can hear is definitely a more hip-hop beat type instrumental, which might not be too unusual for a rap context, but in the context of nu metal is definitely something we can point out because we're lacking the heavy guitars here and like the very in-your-face grooving drums. It's more like stripped back a bit, it's more quiet and focused on the rap. The rap itself sounds very monotonous, it sounds very unmelodic and very calm. Not too much in your face, not too harsh, not too exciting. This is very typical for Linkin Park's or especially Mike Shinoda's early rap style. Next up, we're listening to the very well-known rap verses of the song Faint from 2003's Meteora.
A little bit of loneliness, a little bit of disregard, handful of complaints, but I can't help the fact that everyone can see these scars. What I want you to want, what I want you to feel, but it's like no matter what I do, I can't convince you to just believe this is real.
As you can hear, the rap style itself doesn't differ too much from the first example. We still have a very monotonous performance, we still have a certain lack of expressiveness and an equal pitch in the voice. So we can definitely speak about a typical old school Linkin Park rap sound that kinda goes through the first two records. The only difference is we have some effects here and there to spice things up a little bit, and of course we have the more nu metal instrumental now with the guitars, with a more in-your-face type of beat and like in general a lot more going on around the rap voice itself. Next up, we're taking a rather big leap to 2012's Living Things and the song Lost in the Echo.
Yeah, you were that foundation, never gonna be another one, no. I followed, so taken, so conditioned I could never let go. Then sorrow, then sickness, then the shock when you flip it on me. So hollow, so vicious, so afraid I couldn't let myself see.
What we can notice here is a very, very big difference in terms of rap style and rap voice. What has been a very monotonous and expressionless old school type of underground rap flow has shifted towards a more poppy and mainstream and even party song-like flow in some regards. You can definitely hear that the focus of this rap verse lies on emotion and expressiveness. The way Mike Shinoda stretches and stresses certain vowels and leaves spaces between different sentences and lines makes it easy to understand and makes it easy to feel with him. This evolution is something we can also see in 2017's Good Goodbye from the album One More Light.
Live from the rhythm, it's something wild, venomous. Enemies trying to read me, you're all looking highly illiterate. Ain't forgetting if I'm in the mix, you won't find an equivalent. I've been here killing it longer than you've been alive, you idiot.
Having been written and released in the context of a very pop-driven album, Mike Shinoda's rap verse on Good Goodbye takes the approach that has been formally introduced by Lost in the Echo and songs alike even further. The rap's focus certainly still lies on projecting emotion and creating an overall more uplifting atmosphere by utilizing a certain kind of expressiveness paired with a certain kind of humor, even which is not found on the older Linkin Park recordings. Now we're finally moving to the current state of Linkin Park's rap sound with, of course, Mike's verse in the new song Heavy is the Crown.
It's pouring in, you laid on on the floor again. One knock at the door and then we both know how the story ends. You can't win if your white flag's out when the war begins. Aiming so high but swinging so low, trying to catch fire but feeling so cold. Hold it inside and hope it won't show. I'm saying it's not, but inside I know.
What we can notice right away is that the instrumental sounds more old school. It's more fast-paced, it's more in your face, and it's also more reduced. It sounds like a combination of the beat from Faint with the overall vibe and instrumentation of the Forgotten verse. On top of that, we obviously have the most important and interesting thing about all this, which is of course Mike's rap itself. It sounds fast-paced, it sounds aggressive, it's in your face, it's kind of a combination of the old flow with the new vibe. Because it does sound old school, it does sound underground, it does sound hip-hop, but it is also more expressive than, let's say, the example from Forgotten or Faint, yet it is not as poppy and mainstream as the most recent examples we've shown. So it's a good combination, which can also be seen as a callback to the old times.
Well, I was a little bit afraid it could end up for like having a compromise and really tighten the way. We have to take care of this and that, and no set fire to the fan camp.
Yeah.
So, but for me, it's fine, and I like the progress. So I'm very much curious. I'm looking forward to new tracks.
Yeah.
This one was fun.
This one's
What do
fun.
you think?
Yeah, let us know in the comments down below.
Please.
Let's discuss the new track. Also, like compared to the last one, which one do you like better? Which is like what's the favorite your favorite element of this one? And yeah, just let us know.
Thank you very much for watching, and see you next time.
Leave us a like, subscribe to the channel, and see ya.
Bye bye.